Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic Let's Play brought you by those odd gamers. This time we are playing Dead Space for the Xbox 360.
Dead Space, huh?
Yep.
Is this supposed to be a scary game?
Oh, back when it first came out, I'd say it was a breath of fresh air in terms of a scary game, because we had basically gotten Resident Evil 5 as kind of like a direct comparison at the time, I believe. And, well, Resident Evil 5 was more of an action game than a horror game. And this really filled the void of, oh my god, scary. I've forgotten what you felt like.
It was a horror game. They killed off Wesker.
It was, you know, it was really scary.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
Chris!
it was a horror game, but for every wrong reason.
I still had fun with Resident Evil 5 for the most part, but Dead Space, by far, is a better game. And for those who are not aware, I speedrun this game, and I'm the current world record holder for it.
And I believe we just made an Odd Gamers record. We actually started talking about the game we're playing within a minute and a half of when we started talking about what we're playing.
No.
Fire out the party balloons!
No, we started that. No, Jumping Flash was the first one because we actually started talking about the game immediately because nobody knew what it really was.
Yeah.
How many times you watched that thing?
Okay.
So.
Hey.
Don't worry, we're almost there.
So, anyways, Dead Space, you play as Space Engineer Isaac Clarke. And we've got our cast of cohorts here. We've got Kendra, who we're going to be hearing very, very often. And Hammond, who I actually give a damn. There's two pilots there. Names, you couldn't ask me to remember their names.
Pilot A, Pilot B.
Much.
And
Or as I like to call them, Red Shirt 1 and Red Shirt 2.
and if you don't give a shit about story, skip about to the 5-minute mark, and there should be some gameplay.
Yeah, like I said before, I am the world record holder for this game as a speedrun, and this recording is a speedrun that I did. So if you're wondering why, if it's a speedrun, why am I not skipping all these cutscenes? It's kind of a thing with every Dead Space game, including the on-rail shooter. None of the cutscenes are skippable.
Or so you think.
No, they're not skippable in the traditional sense, at least. We'll get to explaining what can be skipped later. Much later, actually.
Yeah, but unskippable got so stupid.
Is it bad that I've never played a Dead Space game whatsoever?
No, it's just...
Neither have I.
If you were to play this game yourself right now, I think you would still have a good time. Combat is unique for the genre that it's in.
Well, I know it's not like the
I just don't.
typical
My
horror
advice.
game, shoot monster in head and it goes boom and dies.
Yeah.
No, I know that you gotta chop them up, so...
My only real advice for the Dead Space series is definitely start with the first one, but don't play, like, say, the first one and then immediately jump into the second one, because then you'll just burn yourself out. Because they do play very similar.
What the hell were you thinking? Were you trying to get us killed?
And the Dead Space 3 is the Resident Evil 5 of this series.
Yeah, Resident Evil 5 and Dead Space 3 definitely have a lot of similarities, but that's another game entirely.
Yeah.
So is there boulder punching in Dead Space 3?
No, there is they don't give jack shit about horror anymore, and they just give you mooks to...
There's some here's the thing: the horror elements in Dead Space 3 are definitely toned down quite a bit in the favor of having more action set pieces. Which is odd because when you get the DLC for Dead Space 3, which I highly recommend, is way scary. It's really tensed. Oh yeah. Something that was supposed to be, I guess, a joke on like Halo was the fact that your character Isaac here, you don't see his face. Like, the game makes it very clear that you're not supposed to be able to see his face in this game. But yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, at exactly that 5-minute mark, we get to the control the guy.
So right now we're on board the USG Ishimura, a giant mining vessel, pretty much. It goes around from various planet to planet, gathering resources. By the way, here's the first potential skip in the game. This is actually kind of difficult. If you mash the button hard enough, it's possible to open this door before the tutorial pops up. Because when the tutorial pops up, you cannot interact with anything until the tutorial goes away. It saves like only 3 seconds, but it's really, really extremely precise, so I don't always get it. So 3-second loss right there, but honestly, considering this game is like a 3-hour run on average, I'm not gonna reset every single time I don't get that skip, because that means watching that 4 and 47-second minute intro to just gain control again.
That security console's still live.
Yep.
Isaac, log in and see what you can find. Kendra, get that elevator back.
So
Also,
I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong here.
Absolutely not. Why would it? Oh yeah, one other thing that's about to happen here, which you will not see me use because I know exactly where to go and what to do, is this game has a very nice way of helping guiding you along. Basically, you click on the right analog stick, and the game basically just has a digital line on the floor that points you in the correct direction.
The tram system's offline.
Go this way, idiot button.
Pretty much. It's nice in the sense that if you're your first time playing this game, you'll be using it a lot. Because there definitely is a couple like optional places you can go check out.
Everybody relax.
Oh shit, something went wrong. Nobody see died.
Quick, Isaac, warn him! Say something!
Oh no.
Well, time to get out
he's
of
dead.
this mess. It's actually
Run
kind of
away.
important how my movement is here. If you hug the right wall
Wait,
and then
sorry for
zigzag to
depression.
the left wall, you'll avoid getting a Necromorph jump on you, which doesn't sound too bad, but honestly, the biggest problem with Dead Space 1 and Necromorphs is that any type of damage you take stun locks you. And you're just like in this little grunting position for like a quick second, which sometimes can get you killed.
And Ozzy, Necromorph jump on you does sound bad.
Yeah. So like hey, look, that alien that just killed my friends want to give me a hug. This can't be bad.
And here's our first weapon. And
I love
probably
you
the
too,
best
alien.
weapon in Dead Space. The plasma cutter.
Okay,
This
so
weapon is awesome. I love it. Go ahead, Worm.
So, these tutorial messages that are coming over audibly, in context to the world, they make absolutely no sense.
Yep.
I mean, why would you be saying these things?
Oh look.
As part of just...
And unfortunately, this is a game where you can't, like, say, turn tutorials off. If you're doing New Game Plus, the tutorials will never show up again. But I run straight up New Game on easy because it's faster. And if I was to run New Game Plus, that would mean, you know, having like all the weapons, all of them maxed out, having all the best armor upgraded. It makes pretty much everything a cakewalk, and it's kind of boring in my opinion.
Is there a hard mode run? Hard percent?
There is, but it's significantly slower, because then you have to stop and take the time to upgrade your weapons so you can actually kill the enemies without carrying a gigantous ton of ammo. You have limited inventory. And because of how you increase your inventory is by upgrading your armor. And unfortunately, upgrading your armor is not only really expensive, but also extremely time consuming, because you basically get into the store, you buy the suit, Isaac steps into this machine where there's like a 30-second long animation of Isaac just getting in, going through the process, equipping the new armor, and coming out and being like, hey, look at my new suit. And then you can control it. It's slow, and it's just not worth the time.
Oh look, time freeze.
Okay.
Yes, the stasis. This is something that a lot of people really don't take advantage of in this game, because it's a little bit, it's a limited resource. You only have so many charges of stasis before you run out, and the way you refill it is by using either stasis recharge stations that are conveniently like to the right of Isaac right now, or by collecting stasis packs that you can use from your inventory. The nice thing about stasis in this game is that it's not only really powerful, but it has an extremely good range to it. So you can catch a lot of things in stasis in this game.
But I don't understand how this space miner guy has like a power to slow time.
Supposedly, it's some sort of technology the engineers would use in order to like slow down certain machinery so they can work safely.
I think he's Sub-Zero.
It's a bit weird to explain in context, but for the most part, the game does try to explain why does he have this. And at the end of the day, it is another way to help deal with enemies, and I welcome it.
Yeah, but speaking about the horror aspect of Dead Space, it's what you call a jump scary. So basically, yeah, just
there's tons of jump scares in this game.
Yeah, basically.
Like that enemy right there.
Yeah,
he was
up.
He was faking being dead.
Yeah, and enemies coming from roof and that. Yeah.
It looks like the door to the storage room is locked.
It's that horror genre is like kinda boring type. Because basically.
Well, it's definitely one of those one and done type horror tropes where if you know what's coming, then the shock doesn't shock you anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas in, let's say, like, take for example something out of Silent Hill where it's something that's scary because it's psychological and it messes with you in some way.
At this point,
it's not a shock factor, right?
At this point,
because of that, when you go back to it, it's still scary.
Yeah, but we are talking about older Silent Hill games, not the newer ones.
Yeah.
But but basically when you have played enough jump scare game, you know that like there is a window there is going to jump monster through it, and there is like a key on that table and no monsters around. So you know that when you pick up the key, monster jump from somewhere. Or something
And that
like
monster over there is dead, so obviously it's going to stand up.
Yeah, nobody have killed this monster but me, so yeah.
Yeah. One other very important thing to make note about enemies in this game, for the most part, enemies' patterns are set upon entering a room. However, if you leave an enemy alive and then you come back to that room later, then the enemies could just about be anywhere. Like that enemy I just ran by, sometimes he can be right in front of the elevator doors and just hug Isaac.
So they just want hugs?
Ugh, no, please, no hugs. I can't begin to tell you how much I don't want a hug in this game.
Well, it sounds to me like you've got some relationship problems.
I do. Have you not seen this game's storyline before? The reason why Isaac even came to this ship? He's looking for his girlfriend, Nicole.
Well, I have
Does
seen
want
several
her.
runs.
If we live that long, you're out of your league, Hammond.
Needless
This
to
is
say,
suicide. We're going
Isaac
to
here
riot.
is very much worried about his relationship.
And he is also a batshit crazy.
That's
There
it
is
crazy for
that.
coming here.
Just get us out of here alive.
No, basically talking about storyline in later ones.
Oh yeah, Dead Space 2 and 3, Isaac kinda... Yeah.
Well,
Particularly Dead Space 2.
would you be all there after going through this?
Who knows?
If it actually happened?
It is kind of fucked up when you think about it. Oh my god, here comes the newest enemy. Say hello to the Leaper.
Do they leap?
Yep, a lot. They basically look like scorpions because of their tail, and they're not only really fast, but they're also have the longest grab animation in this entire game, aside from what's a good example? Oh, the divider's heads, but we'll see a divider later.
I did not realize my mic was muted, so I was talking to myself the entire time.
Yay! We've all been there.
Those are at home. It's the only way off the ship.
So what were you gonna say then, Nico? Quickly,
I was wondering, I was like asking about, like you said, how when you leave a room, the enemy pathing changes, so it's all randomized enemy pathing?
Yeah, it bases itself on your current location, but sometimes the enemy can like follow you to rooms that they're not supposed to be in because the game thinks that, oh, you kill these guys. So that, and then when you go to another room, there might be an additional like 2 enemies that show up but aren't necessary to kill the like say to open the next door, but they'll show up in that room anyway, wasting your time.
Okay.
It's kind of annoying in a couple areas, and it's all RNG.
What was that?
Bug
So-
monkey! Bug! Oh yeah, that's a store off to the right. We're not gonna shop right now. We'll do some real shopping when we get into chapter 2.
Yay!
Let's just hope that
Oh, so
Kaza
like in 2
remembers to
seconds.
keep his mic unmuted.
That's a good plan.